so confused. You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dog.
Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. What are we?
Yeah. Hogswins here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The Dumb Show and his website. Yeah. Don'tUnfriendMe.com. Yeah.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Amy in the house. What the shiznit
Where did she go?
just happened? I mean, seriously. Sorry.
All
Yeah,
good.
there. Whatever. It doesn't. I'm too tired. Amy, welcome to the show. Good to have you here. What's the hat?
Not today,
Not
Satan.
today, Satan. Satan. I miss those. I miss those Dana Carvey.
Yeah. Right?
Why are we doing Z formation?
I don't know, because I thought that's what she did.
Yeah.
She did the whole.
I did.
Z
I
form-
did a
the
presentation.
Z formation thing. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that since I've seen Dana Carvey do. Could it be Satan? Livia Spear here, just a regular mom, trying not to raise a liberal. What's up, Liv?
Oh, not much. Everyone go to YouTube. Subscribe.
Holy shit.
Also, I'm calling out Uncle Stumpy, a.k.a. Kevin,
Oh, you're in deep trouble, Kevin.
on Rumble. Seriously, dude? Seriously? How long have I been trying to get you to call the show? And you call on Tuesday morning when I'm not on? Really? I'm mad at you.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I already told him I'm mad at me. He's ignoring me.
Call him instead of Uncle Stumpy, Uncle Dickie. I forwarded you his email saying how great it was and everything else. So yeah, he stepped into some hot water. I told him he was in deep trouble the moment he did it. I was just like, oh dude, Eric's gonna be mad, or Vince is, what is it? Victor's gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, Victor.
Whatever it is. Is it Victor? What the hell is it? Vic.
Vic or Victor
Vic.
or
No,
Vincent?
Vic is gonna be mad at you. That's what it is. I got gum under my seat. Gum. That's from Speed. We're cross-referencing our Sandra Bullock movies. So how dare us? We got a lot to do. And honestly, Olivia and I don't want to be on tonight. I have been sick, and I am finally better, and was going to get a workout in tonight. I trimmed the beard up because I was getting sick beard. Like I hadn't touched it in 10 days, and I was just like, thing with foom. And it's like a Jewish dick fro. I'll just foom. It's serious, man. We love Jews here, so we make fun of everybody. So don't take it personal if you're Jewish. In fact, you're safe here. If you're Hamas, go fuck yourself. But yeah. So totally, I just, and that's that Greek and Jewish. I guess that blood in me is I got that curly hair thing going on. So, and I need to manscape, because if I don't, I basically look like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. You guys remember Mrs. Roper from Three's Company?
Yes. I do. God, I love that show.
Oh, what a great show. And, you know, she was, I mean, that woman wore carpet drapes every single day, but you got to
Who?
love.
What?
What?
Mrs.
show?
Roper.
You don't know Mrs. Roper? Three's Company.
I never watched it.
Are you kidding me?
Gee, I wonder
Oh,
why.
You got to
There
watch
is.
it.
There's Mrs.
I
Roper.
couldn't. I couldn't watch
That's
it.
what I look like if I don't manscape. But that's Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. She was fantastic. She was an amazing woman. She always wore like drapes. She was a total hippie. Yeah, she was a total hippie. And that's what she wore. Moo or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
They would
like
go
a
down to the
muumuu or caftan.
Yeah, they would go down to the Regal Beagle.
Never seen an episode.
She
Of
was
Three's
in love
Company?
with Jack.
What are you, a Nazi?
Do I really need to explain why I couldn't watch it?
Yeah, Joyce DeWitt.
2 women living with a man.
Oh, a gay man. Get it right.
Yeah.
According to Mr. Roper and Mr. Farley, he
My
was
mom
gay.
didn't let me watch anything. I couldn't watch
Jack,
anything.
that's how okay, stop. That's how Roper and Farley allowed Jack to live there, is because they called him, he's a twinkle toes. That's in the first episode. That's what they called him. And he's like, oh, you know, little fairy dust. And that's what Mr. Roper used to do. It is make fun of Jack because he was gay all the time. Of course, Jack wasn't gay. He was a philanderer. I mean, the guy screwed anything that walked. I'm sure, like the Regal Beagle, like real Beagle puppies, had plenty of them kicking around the neighborhood. So, yeah. Joyce DeWitt, who wasn't pretty at all. But then you had...
She wasn't?
Wasn't Suzanne Summers in it?
Yeah, Suzanne Summers was
Okay.
Yeah,
Suzanne
she
Summers was the
played,
first. Then they mixed it up when Suzanne left. No, Joyce DeWitt wasn't pretty.
Chrissy.
She was...
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what's
Joyce
the other
DeWitt
one?
was awkward.
Janet.
She looked... Yeah, that was Janet. Janet looked like she should have been on Elvira.
Oh, I thought
You
she
know?
was pretty. She was like
I
a
know.
little punk rock, a little like, I liked her.
Joan Jett? No, she looked like a lesbian.
I related more to her than I did to Chrissy. I don't know. I just liked her a lot more.
Well, I didn't like Chrissy. Yeah, I didn't think Suzanne Summers was pretty. I thought she had a body that wouldn't quit, but that was it. I didn't find her attractive. Like, I think Terry, cousin Terry, when she came in, she was smoking. Let's see, Terry, Three's Company. Then there was cousin Oliver, and he was not Terry. Terry was not pretty. No. That's not the woman. I thought Priscilla Barnes. Priscilla Barnes was not super pretty. She was cutesy dootsy, but she got annoying. So that's her. That's Terry. It wasn't Terry.
Oh, yeah, she
it
was cute. I liked her too.
She was okay. But there was another girl that came in. She had Farrah Fawcett hair and really poofy. What the hell was her name? Oh, my gosh. The Girls of Three's Company. See, now this is... She's
the one that took Chrissy's place when she was fired, right?
That's correct. And her name was
Yeah,
Cindy Snow. And she was a good-looking woman. Much prettier than any of the others. Let's see if I can find a picture of her. She looked like, that's her. She was pretty.
Yeah,
And she was
pretty.
She was on Boob Watch, I think. She was on Boob Watch.
She does look familiar.
She was like an older milfy Boob Watch girl. There she is.
Yeah.
She was pretty. So out of all of them, like if on the finger scale, like I'm going to cut off a finger to sleep with them. Like Joyce DeWitt, I'm going to trim my thumbnail. That's all they're going to get. Suzanne Summers, just to say I did so I could experience the Thigh Master, I'd cut off the tip of my finger.
Thigh Master.
Terry, I would like, I'd take it halfway off and then sew it back on. And then I'm pretty confident with Cindy Snow. I think I would lose my pinky. I think I'd cut my finger off for her. Just saying.
I think, if I was a man, I think I would be the same way. Yeah.
There you go. And then Jack, I'd take off I'd take it off at the fucking wrist because that guy was a pimp. Look at him.
Yeah.
John Ritter. Come on. John Ritter had it going on, the flowing hair, and he was like a Ryan Reynolds of the 70s.
Who's the other blonde in that picture? That's not Suzanne Summers.
That's Terry. You got to follow. That's Priscilla Barnes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think she's prettier than the other chick.
Yeah, that's not
I do
true.
too.
You didn't hear her talk. Once she talked, it was all over. She was cutesy. She really was. But she talked and I don't know. But I would say that John Ritter was like an older Ryan Reynolds. He was a handsome guy, wasn't he?
That's like the typical 80s family portrait right there.
Yeah, but you can't see a little look at, I mean, you can't see a little Ryan Reynolds in him. I mean, not as distinguished.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody looks like Ryan Reynolds, but he has that kind of that boyish, handsome look about him. I mean, he's
What's
a
with the
handsome guy.
one pigtail on Suzanne Summers?
That's what she did. That was her thing.
That was her thing
She
in
had
the
to overcome-
80s.
Her boobs were so big that if she didn't have a counterweight, she'd just fall over all the time. Three's Company, man, what a great show. Then you had Larry, who was like totally the degenerate neighbor.
Oh.
Black hair is so good, so good. And then they shipped when Mrs. Roper and Mr. Roper. I think Mr. Roper died, so they had to sell off. And then Don Knotts came in, Mr. Farley, and he was always great. Don Knotts is just a legend. But it was good. It was good. Did you guys know that Cousin Oliver? Do you guys remember Cousin Oliver
From the Brady Bunch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
He is a huge anti-Trumper, and like the only thing he posts about is anti-Trump, and people follow him on Twitter, and like I went on there, I'm like, dude, why the fuck should anyone listen to you? You ruined the Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
you
he
ruined the fucking dude. You came on, and that entire cast started sleeping together. Fucking Mike Brady got AIDS. Alice kicked off, or no, Sam kicked off. Like Marsha slept with Greg, and then oh my God, Florence Henderson.
One of the dads sleeping with one of the kids?
No, Florence Henderson diddled all the kids. She diddled Bobby. She diddled Greg. She diddled all of them. Peter.
What? I did not know this.
Florence Henderson and Greg were diddling each other. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I knew that.
Then Marsha had a bulimia problem. Cousin Oliver, he's the Antichrist. That little fucker showed up. Then they got the tarantula that followed him back from Hawaii and that poison idol and all that shit. It's all Cousin Oliver's fault. Then they went to the Grand Canyon. Don't you remember? I mean, this is, dude, Cousin
Did
Oliver.
he reply to you?
Oh, he banned me. He blocked me. I was like, what a little shit.
That's so funny.
But that guy's been on like two things his entire life, and he went on the Brady Bunch. And it's like, dude, seriously, if I was like, okay, let's just say that I went on a TV show and I just became super popular for like 0 minutes, which nobody liked Oliver. Everyone hated him.
Yeah,
like
we all
people
did.
were like in the Brady Bunch, like, can you kill him off? This is back in the 70s, 80s, and people are like, what do you mean? This isn't Starsky and Hutch. This isn't Quincy. This isn't Murder, She Wrote. People don't die on the Brady Bunch. He's like, yeah, but can we?
He just had to go home.
Can we kill him? Can we kill him anyway? And I think everybody wanted him to die in an episode, like somewhere, like maybe Marsha takes a football to a face.
I was just gonna say
part
football
2, but
to the
instead of it, it's
face.
like it's a truck, right? Like a truck to the face. That would be good for Cousin Oliver. So this guy's just living in infamy because, and he's just like, listen, when I was an actor, people are like, dude, you never were an actor. You were probably Epstein's little fuck toy or something for like 5 minutes. That's how you got the job. I can't stand that kid. I mean, Cousin Oliver ruined the Brady Bunch for me. When he came on, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to watch Gilligan Island reruns or something. I feel really passionate about this.
I'm with you. I really am. I was obsessed with the Brady Bunch. We are currently watching it in our home. We're on season 3.
See, you know what I'm talking about.
It's so
Yes,
funny.
I was like, oh, let's watch a show that I was obsessed with when I was a kid. So we started, and my
Yes.
kids love it. They love it, and I'm like, oh man, I miss like the fashion. Yeah.
Oh,
he
I
was-
remember him.
Yeah, this little fuckwad.
Yeah.
My kids wouldn't watch it. I remember when I got sick and had to stay home from school, it was like, I got to watch the Brady Bunch reruns. Price is Right. That was like the best morning ever when you had to stay home from school.
Robbie Rist. Talk about a guy
Oh,
who
geez.
literally has not gotten, like, he looks exactly the same, except he decided to go ahead and wear awkward glasses that made him look like a dipshit to birth control military glasses. I mean, this guy looked like he hasn't missed a meal since the Brady Bunch. Not a fan.
Golly,
Not a
wasn't
fan
he
at all.
in a movie with Jack Black?
Well, let me get you Robbie Rist's filmography here.
IMDb.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. So here's the barn burners this guy's been in since he's says he's known for voicing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That should tell you something. Which is fine. He does a lot of Naruto, Doc McStuffins.
Oh my gosh, what is he doing? I remember watching that show with Hayden.
He's the black girl. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't matter.
I remember watching that with Hayden.
He was on Time
show.
Pirates in 2022. He's literally done nothing but voiceovers.
Well, it's because no one wants to see his face on camera.
Oh no, I stand corrected. He did the last Sharknado. It's About Time.
Oh,
What did he get eaten by the shark?
I'm sure. I think he ate the shark. Have you seen him? He's a bunch of cartoons. Like everything he's done is like where they don't have to show his face. Like the last thing that he's shown his face on. Oh my God! I mean, guys stayed busy. I got to give him that. Oh, he was on Terminator Salvation, the video game. I played that. Dude, the guy stayed busy. I got to give him props. Good for him. I mean, this guy's done hundreds of comic movies and cartoons. Absolutely.
That's every actor's dream, I hear, though, just to stay busy, like not become famous, but to like have work. I'm friends with.
Oh God, he was in Iron Eagle. That's where we also know him from because he was the one that stole the maps from his dad in Iron Eagle. Yeah, I remember him. He was in a Love Boat. I remember all of that. Chips. That's right. But
what was he in Chips?
He was one of the kids that was kidnapped in Chips.
Oh, I loved that show.
Who didn't love that? Eric Estrada.
Dude, I had a crush on Ponch.
Dude, Ponch
was so cute.
Ponch. Nobody knew what Ponch was. Is he Cuban? Is he Puerto Rican? Is he Mexican? Is he Guadalajaran? What the fuck is he? Yep. Then there was Larry Wilcox, the white guy with the bangs. Oh, dude, Chip. Dude, love that. Dun, dun, dun. I love that. They're driving down the highway, dude, in sync. I'm like, oh, Chips.
Oh, I love that show.
It's so hilarious. My uncle, who is a homicide detective, he's like, we're going to go watch Chips. He's like, that fucking show is Mickey Mouse.
It's like you with certain military shows and movies.
Yeah. He's like, that's not real. Robert Pine was in that. Larry Wilcox, Eric Estrada. And Eric Estrada was totally a heartthrob. And then they got some guy that wound up looking
with the flowing hair.
Yeah, he looked like Paul Walker. He jumped in that show.
Yeah, who was the blonde who played the other?
That was the other guy with the blue-eyed guy that looked like Paul Walker.
Yeah.
The other guy was Larry Wilcox, but then Larry Wilcox got fat and retired. And it went off air, and then it came back on. When it came back on, they put some blonde-haired Adonis guy who looked like Paul Walker. Blue eyes, blonde hair, and he was a handsome devil. I think Eric Estrada probably had one too many empanadas at that point and was a little pudgy on the belt. So it was more like Chips Plus.
Chips.
A whole bunch of chips and dip is what it came out to. But that show was awesome. I mean, but like he said, he's like, these guys are in fucking California and they've never shot their firearm. He's like, trust me, in LA, some Mexican would have run their asses over on their bikes. They don't allow bikes in California. California highway patrol's for like Ventura, not LA. It's for Santa Barbara, where it's, my uncle was always honest. Wow. Miami Vice was a good show too. You guys remember that?
No,
I never watched it.
I couldn't watch it.
I've heard enough about it that I feel like I know the show, and I feel like we have enough memorabilia in my home. And also, dude, Jason has enough clothes from like that era because he was like obsessed.
Is he a totally Miami Vice fan?
Have you ever seen him in person? Like, have you ever seen how he dresses?
He kind of looks, like he's a cross between Miami Vice and Magnum PI.
Yeah, but like with a Guido edge because he's like half Ecuadorian. So
right. It's like a Guido edge. So like best TV shows from the 80s and 90s. Hands down. Well, and
Cosby Show.
And 70s.
Full House.
No, Cosby Show's not even on the list.
I love the
Full House is
Cosby
on the list. Ladies, I'm going to kick you off this podcast. Come on. I'm talking the best. I'm not talking about the ones that were popular.
I couldn't watch half the shit that was on TV in the 80s.
That doesn't mean they didn't exist.
I know, but I can't tell you.
In the 80s?
Oh my gosh, I loved Alf.
Alf is in the top
Mork
10.
and Mindy.
Oh, that was a good
one. That was like 70s.
Mork and Mindy was okay. Can we just start off with like let's do number 10, okay? The number 10 best TV shows of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. All right, now I'm going to pull off
90s. You got to add 90s in there. I was going to say, you can't add 90s in there.
Top 10 best.
Ooh, Dukes of Hazzards and Knight Rider.
Oh, my God.
Yes. People are already starting to put stuff.
Dude, stop stealing my thunder because I am okay. MASH.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot MASH.
was a good one. I didn't watch
Happy
that
Days.
though until I was
Happy
older.
Days. Happy Days
Oh
was
yeah,
awesome.
Happy Days was great. Welcome
we've
back,
already said-
Cotter.
Dude, Taxi, dude. Taxi was.
When was Lassie on?
Welcome Back, Cotter was good. Charlie's Angels was good. Hill Street Blues, hands down. Hill Street Blues was one of the
saw
best.
it.
Never saw
Oh, ladies, Knight Rider was fantastic.
You saw Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Saint Elsewhere. Saint
I
Elsewhere.
haven't seen that
Oh,
one.
that was a good one.
The Bionic Woman and the $6 Million Man. Cheers was good.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah,
The
that was
A
good.
Team, that's number one. The A Team is number one. I'm sorry.
Somebody said Taxi.
I did say Taxi already.
Oh, okay.
Dukes of Hazzard was good. Rockford Files. Yeah.
When was that? What was it? Had Beauty and the Beast. I had
That
Lynn.
was stupid. That's not
My
even the
mom
top-
loved that.
Of course,
show.
your mom loved it. No,
Was it a show?
Yes, it was Beauty and the Beast show. It was like for a New York Minute on like CBS, and they have the guy who plays who's in come on, the stupid biker movie. My daddy runs into a truck, so I run into a truck too.
Oh,
Sons of Anarchy.
yes.
And he was also Hellboy. That guy. He
My mom thought he was handsome.
well as a beast.
I don't know.
Wow. Anyway, yeah. So Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, someone said Family Ties. That's Brad. That was a
That's close
great
enough.
one.
That's close.
And
Silver
Facts
Spoons.
of Life. Because weren't they on
Facts of
back
Life.
to
Yeah.
back?
Take the good, you take the bad,
What
and
was the
have
one
them all.
that,
There you have the facts of life. Do
Yeah.
the facts of life.
Kirk Cameron was on. What was that one?
That was Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. That
Yeah.
one was a good
And
one.
then you had Who's the Boss, where
Yep.
Alyssa Milano
Who's
was
the
on there,
Boss?
and you're like,
Yep.
God,
Loved Who's
she's
the Boss.
smoking, and now she's smoking, but you have to put her on
Freaking
mute.
batshit
You
crazy.
said put her on mute. She still looks great, but you just got to put her on mute. Sanford and Son, yeah, Ron Perlman.
Yes.
That's who it is. Yeah,
I loved
Night
Sanford and
Court.
Son.
Oh, Night Court was so good. Dan Larroquette, totally. Yes. Yeah, Night Court
Yeah,
was good.
Night
So
Court
many
was
good
the best.
shows.
Wonder Years. I never watched it, but
Wonder Years was good. I mean,
I loved it growing up, but I was at that age when that was on. Like I was at that age. So
yeah, Magnum PI. That's a hands down.
Was
Like my two favorite shows were Magnum PI. 3, 4. Oh, the one you guys haven't. You know what? Fuck all y'all. I can't believe you forgot Airwolf. Oh, dude, are you dun 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 dun. Airwolf. No,
Never heard
God,
of it.
forget about it. Everybody knows Airwolf. Hold on.
was Fresh Prince of Bel Air, was that in the 90s or just start in the
That was
80s?
90s.
Okay. I thought so.
probably
Dude. Shh. Wait. I'm gonna get flagged for this, and I don't care. We're not gonna make anything on the show.
Hi, I'm Zoe Gong.
Seriously, you don't need a commercial on a 59-second intro to a TV show. Are you kidding me? We got enough of that in the 80s.
Peace and wellness tip.
Here it is. Air keyboards.
Playing a freaking cello on a boat?
Hey.
What the hell?
Hey, Jan Michael Vincent can do whatever the hell he wants. As a low-grade porn star, he came in and did this. Now, George Papard did the same thing. Annabelle in A-Team. He was in a couple porns
We're
himself.
forgetting about the greatest show.
No, we're
of all
not. No, we're
time.
not. We're listening to this. How dare you? MacGyver. I know, but that's MacGyver's number one. Yes.
I like that.
Ernest
I like that.
Borgnine. Oh, yes, I love this. Dude, now the worst, now seriously, the ending of the series, and it was only on for like 1 or 2 seasons, but at the ending, the girl he's in love with, oh my God, I cried my eyes out. Eurasian Eyes by Corey Hart, a guy who did Sunglasses at Night. Great album, Boy in the Box. If you haven't listened to Boy in the Box, it's fantastic by Corey Hart. At the end, and Eurasian Eyes comes on. It's got this. It's Persian, and it's just, you know, it's got the sitar in the background. It's very, you know, and him and Ernest Borgnine are late to get her, and she was left out in the desert to die, and she dehydrates and horrible, and he runs out there to go save her. lands the chopper, and you know he's going to be late. You just know it's going to be clipped, and she fucking dies. And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't even breathe. I was horrible. I remember it. It traumatized me as a kid. Anyway, just thought I'd tell you guys. It was a great show.
I feel like this is another show my kids and I have to put on our list of things to watch.
You gotta watch MacGyver. Totally.
Dude.
Dukes of Hazzards.
My hero. I had
I
had the jacket. I had the duct tape. And I had the Swiss Army knife.
And we still call you MacGyver now.
I am. And I had the mullet. I had the mullet too. I used to get beat up in school over this guy because I look just like him. Here we go. The best song ever. Dun, 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 dun. We got to hear the full thing. We can't do this. Yes, the keyboard intro. Just kind of slowly got you into it. Here we go. Rock out. Seen every episode.
I had such a big crush on him.
Seen every. This is a flare pitch. Listen, I got to actually see this guy do a celebrity golf tournament at Ojai Valiant and Country Club, and got to meet him, Elizabeth Shue, and Craig T. Nelson. So cool. he was my hero. Richard
Coach. Can't forget about Coach.
Yeah, Coach was a good show.
Coach was a good one. Yeah.
We need to finish this song. Hold on. He's using a map as a sled on that one. See, I've seen every episode. I know every episode of MacGyver by heart. Like, favorite show of all time, guaranteed.
Cool.
Son, you're going to have to wait, MacGyver.
We tried showing the kids this, and they wouldn't watch it.
Ethan liked MacGyver.
Oh, really?
He didn't like anything.
Right here. Yes! Yes, MacGyver! I'm going to get blacklisted.
Such a good
like
show.
10 pounds heavier right now.
My show, this show's going to get copyrighted. It's going to get crushed. And I'm going to be like, no, that's fair use. I can use it. It's fair use.
Well, go tell your news, dude.
Yeah, go tell somebody. Go tell somebody here.
I just speed ran losing a tooth in a day.
No, other way.
Which one? Show him.
You can't see it. Oh wow, look at that.
Hey, look like your dad. He lost his tooth. Congratulations.
Love you, buddy.
That's good. I think that's good.
Hey, put that under your pillow and the socialists will take half of it. So,
You're.
Hey, close the door a little bit. This big.
No, that's actually
this
good.
big.
What? What did he say?
Oh, it's like too orange.
I have no idea what he's saying.
All right. Anyway, we got.
Here to fix my lighting.
I will tell you what, that was the best intro we've ever done in the show. MacGyver was amazing. I don't care that he stopped a nuclear meltdown with a Band-Aid and a chocolate bar. I get it. I understand that. That's not the point. You have to suspend disbelief with MacGyver.
You have to suspend disbelief in like everything nowadays.
Yeah, it's like if you can't enjoy MacGyver, you're just a fascist. I feel
Her daughter's a fascist.
Fame was good. Fame was good.
Oh, I watched Fame.
Fame was a good show. Fame.
You want to know what I liked? One of the original reality shows, Star Search. Love
Yes.
Star Search.
Isn't that where they found that shit crazy Britney Spears?
Yes.
Yes.
And Justin Timberlake and Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, a bunch. And the Aguilera girl, right?
I wanted to be on Star Search so bad when I was a kid. Oh, and another one, Rescue 911.
Oh,
I watched that every week.
Oh, Baba Black Sheep too. I mean, we can go back. If you want to go to the 40s and 50s, I mean, we can do this all day long. I mean, there were plenty. Leave It to Beaver was good. I loved Leave It to Beaver. Yeah. The Munsters. I mean, the Addams Family.
Yeah. There were so many good shows.
Yeah, the TV isn't what it used to be. Today, it's just shit. Today, it's just like like CBS, ABC, NBC, they're all jokes. I mean, there's like CSI Miami, CSI Chicago, CSI Baltimore, CSI Tampa. Enough. Can we just Grey's Anatomy, season number 17.
I think it's on 21 to be completely
Their
honest.
vaginas need rhinoplasty because they've been banging so hard for 21 years. Give me a break.
No, I will say we had this conversation like 3 or 4 days ago because our kids were asking to watch something, and I was like, I've never heard of that show. Today, the kids have everything on, like you can stream anything on any network, on any platform. There's all this stuff online. Like when we were growing up, you had a few channels and you watched what was on those channels. There was no like, I'm going to go stream something
you didn't get
else.
a choice. It was Nick at Night, and that was it.
Yeah. It was the best
Dennis
too.
the Menace.
Dude, I watched
Little House on the Prairie.
Johnny Carson. I'd stay up every night till 11:30 till 1. And I mean, Johnny Carson was on late. I mean, late. And I would watch it every night, and I'd wake up for school. The next morning, I'd watch Johnny Carson. I fucking love Johnny Carson.
I remember once a year, they would show Wizard of Oz one time a year. And my mom would let me stay up for it every year.
Gosh, the
come
Odd
on around
Couple,
Thanksgiving.
Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks. That was a great show. So many good shows, man. Oh gosh, we're forgetting
Mr. Ed. I still remember Mr. Ed.
And Green Acres.
Good show.
Yeah.
What was the
Green Acres and Mr. Ed? They were also like back to back.
What was the basketball one? Oh gosh, something Harlem.
Don't know.
I can't believe I'm forgetting this because this was one of the best. What was the basketball TV show? Come on, y'all. Help me out.
Good night. Love you.
I don't think I watched it.
Oh, something Shadow.
I know. My office is a mess.
Come on, something Shadow. White Shadow. White Shadow, I think is what it was. Hold on. White Shadow. Yep. The White Shadow. What a good show that was. So many good shows.
Tales from the Crypt. Was that like 80s, 90s?
It was HBO. That was HBO. Well, Amazing Stories was also good.
Teen Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Teen Wolf, the TV show?
Yeah.
Like, that's like now.
Is that?
They didn't have
Somebody
Teen Wolf.
said Teen
They
Wolf.
didn't have Teen Wolf TV show when we were younger.
That was a movie then. Okay.
Yeah, that was a movie. We're not doing movies. We'll be here all night. We gotta
Major
go.
Dad. I remember Major Dad.
Okay,
that was
we're
a
done.
good show.
We're done.
Okay.
We're done. We got to stop.
Well, he said it was a slow news night, so.
Yeah, White Shadow. What a great, what a good show. There's so many great shows out there.
Gilligan's Island. I Dream of Jeannie. Bewitched. Yep, I watched all of them.
Bewitched. Totally watched Bewitched. Absolutely. All right, let's get to it. We got. I'm losing my voice already. That sucks.
Good night, baby.
Hey, Liv.
Yes.
You want to give people a little bit of a break? Well, let's just do this.
Can you please shut my door too? Thank you, lovey. Good night, baby.
I got a cough drop. I'm already dying.
Do you need water?
Mm-mm. I'm not 100%. All right.
Oh, Married with Children. We didn't say that one. That was the best.
Yeah, but was that 80s?
I don't know because I couldn't watch it.
I used to watch it with my parents. They were terrible people, obviously. Tell me to watch that show. I didn't know what it was about, though, then. So funny.
So heads up. This was Jyapal was on with CNN, and they were talking about the Hamas series of rapes against Israeli people. And CNN, now I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm actually going to go ahead and tell you that Hillary Clinton did a good job tonight. Never thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
I was actually impressed. I'm going to try to find this Jyapal CNN interview. I'm sorry, guys. I'm dying here. I knew I shouldn't have come on. Okay, here it is.
Right. and speak out.
Take a listen to this. And
I've seen a lot of progressive.
This is the progressive left doing what they always do and defending terrorists. Here it is.
Progressive women, generally speaking, they're quick to defend women's rights and speak out against using rape as a weapon of war, but downright silent on what we saw on October 7th and what might be happening inside Gaza right now to these hostages. Why is that?
Can I just, Dana Bash is a very polite young woman, and good for her, I guess, for asking this question. But if I could put it in my words, because that was way too apologetic, the way she asked that. Let me ask this Congresswoman the same question. Women were raped on October 7th. They were dragged through the streets. We've seen the images. The rapists, the Hamas terrorists that you're defending right now and making excuses for, they live streamed the sexual assaults. The women continue to be raped while they're being held. You stand up there and you grandstand like you're the voice of women and protecting women's rights all around the world. Why in the hell have you been silent? You and your fellow squad members have been calling for a ceasefire within hours of all of those rapes occurring. You've been trying to blame Israel and saying that the victims in all of these sexual assaults are really the problem. Oh, this is what an oppressed people does to their oppressor. This is what happens with an occupation. Are you kidding me? What the hell is wrong with you? That's how I would ask the question.
So here's the actual
violence.
Here's the portion.
And I've seen a lot of progressive women. It's kind of remarkable that this issue hasn't gotten enough attention globally. Widespread use of rape, brutal rape, sexual violence against Israeli women by Hamas. I've seen a lot of progressive women, generally speaking, they're quick to defend women's rights and speak out against using rape as a weapon of war, but downright silent on what we saw on October 7th and what might be happening inside Gaza right now to these hostages. Why is that?
I mean, I don't know that that's true. I think we always talk about the impact of war on women in particular. In fact, I remember 20 years ago, I did a petition around the war in Iraq.
Have you talked about it since October 7th?
Absolutely. And I've condemned what Hamas has done. I've condemned
specifically
all of
women?
the actions. Absolutely.
No, you haven't.
The rape, of course. But I think we have to remember that Israel is a democracy. That is why they are a strong ally of ours. And if they do not comply with international humanitarian law, they are bringing themselves to a place that makes it much more difficult strategically for them to be able to build the kinds of allies, to keep public opinion with them. And frankly, morally, I think we cannot say that one war crime deserves another. That is not what international humanitarian law says.
Okay, with respect, I was just asking about the women, and you turned it back to Israel. I'm asking you about Hamas. In fact,
I already answered your question, Dana. I said it's horrific, and I think that rape is horrific, sexual assault is horrific. I think that it happens in war situations. Terrorist organizations like Hamas obviously are using these as tools. However, I think we have to be balanced about bringing in the outrages against Palestinians. 15,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli airstrikes, 3/4 of whom are women and children.
And it's horrible, but you don't see Israeli soldiers raping
well, Dana,
Palestinian
I think
women.
we're not.
Dude, these people are absolutely fucking insane. And when you have Hillary Clinton coming out,
generally speaking, they're quick to defend,
saying the right things. And listen, I despise Hillary Clinton. I
wish I could join you
I
in
think
person.
Hillary Clinton does more to set women back. But I got to say it, I got nothing to say about her in this, because she's dead on. Every single word is perfect. And listen to it. And I don't care if you don't like her, because I've got more reason not to like her than just about anybody. But this is her statement. Take a listen.
I could join you in person for this very important gathering, but I am honored to be a part of this effort to shed light on such a vital issue. As you well know, many women and girls were attacked brutally by Hamas on October 7th, and they have testified to the gender-based violence that they both experienced and witnessed. As a global community, we must respond to weaponized sexual violence wherever it happens with absolute condemnation. There can be no justifications and no excuses. Rape as a weapon of war is a crime against humanity. Such atrocities have no place in any society or any conflict. Organizations, governments, and individuals who are committed to a better future for women and girls have a responsibility to condemn all violence against women. It is outrageous that some who claim to stand
folks,
for...
Okay, I understand it's Hillary Clinton. You all want to go ahead and just hate on her immediately. And I respect and understand that. And you have every right to do so. She's not running for fucking president. The Democrats don't want her. She's ostracized from her party. She is literally a lost puppy looking for any type of love whatsoever. But it doesn't make what she says not wrong. And if it takes somebody like her to actually say it so these Democrats wake the fuck up and stand against Palestine and stop protecting them when they didn't care a damn about them on October 6th, but all of a sudden cared on October 8th, means that they are supporting Hamas, period. The fact that Hillary Clinton said enough's enough, we got to stand out against it, I'm sorry, I'm going to give her bone, no matter how much of a dog she is.
Justice are closing their eyes and their hearts to the victims of Hamas. But amid such inhumanity, we can also see women leading the way forward, as is so often the case. I have met survivors of sexual and gender-based violence all over the world. They are the ones who inspire me with their incredible courage and resolve. And I have seen firsthand that women are not just victims of war, they are agents of peace. That's why I championed Security Council resolutions recognizing the unique impact of conflict on women and girls and the importance of women in peacekeeping and security, and mandating that peacekeeping missions protect women and girls from sexual violence in areas of armed conflict. You know, women on both sides of the current conflict in the Middle East have long worked for a just and lasting peace. I have grieved with Israeli women who have lost loved ones to terrorist attacks, but refuse to believe that peace is impossible. I have talked and listened to Palestinian women who have suffered greatly from the conflicts of the past decades, yet dream of a peaceful future and a state of their own. We honor all the brave women on the front lines of conflict by lifting up their voices and bearing witness to the crimes they have endured. I urge everyone
oh my God.
present.
Can the Qers please fuck the right off? Please just lose my channel. Pretend like you never found it. Do me a favor, unfriend me. So the fucking lizard people, clone fuckers, can you please get out of my fucking channel? You degrade and completely lower the IQ of everyone who surrounds you. Please, just leave.
Make your position clear.
Jesus.
We stand for the safety and equality of women, always and everywhere, from Ukraine to the Middle East, to Sudan, to the Democratic Republic of Congo, everywhere. And we unequivocally condemn the atrocities committed by Hamas on October 7th.
She's the first Democrat, whether you believe her or not, or like her or not, and I don't give a fuck which one it is, because like I said, I don't like the lady and I never have, who actually said, I condemn Hamas. Not saying I condemn terrorist attacks. She specifically called out Palestine. She specifically called out Hamas. She didn't sugarcoat it with but Israel. And I don't care who she is. If you got any liberal saying that, it puts the rest of them on notice. And honestly, good. Good. I don't give a shit who says that. Jyapal, if we're going to listen to Jyapal be a complete twat and say something completely screwed up like she just did, then I'm going to listen to when one of them actually says something that's worthwhile. Of course, I know the way she treated Flowers. I understand the way she treated Lewinsky. I understand this woman has never stood for women in her entire life. But that speech is good enough for me to say, great, that needs to be said and recited by every single politician, every single celebrity across the land, and they're not. And I would love to get Olivia and Amy's thoughts on this.
Yeah, I've never been a Hillary Clinton fan at all. I despise her. But I completely agree with you. If somebody from the left is actually going to stand up and say, I condemn Hamas, then I agree with her, and more power to her. This would probably be the only thing I will ever agree with her on.
Yeah,
ever
for sure.
for the rest of my life. But a broken clock is once, twice a day. So
Yeah.
I mean, she's got to do something right at least once in her lifetime. She can't always be wrong.
Well, no, she can be wrong, but in this case, she's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. She can't always be wrong.
No, she can.
That's true.
In this case, she's not.
Yeah.
Hillary is wrong pretty much with everything she says. And anything that's coming out of her mouth is a lie. That is the most conviction I've heard her speak ever. She's not running for president. She can't run for president. Listen, they're already going after Trump for cognitive stuff now. Now they're trying to, remember that? You can't say that about Joe Biden. That's ageism. Oh, well, it's working? Oh, well, shit. Well, Trump's older than a fucking, a banjo from the middle of Deliverance. I mean, they're just, this is what they're going to do. And Hillary Clinton, she's not a spring chicken. No, that woman, she's not good. Amy, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think I've never even heard this until now. So I'm shocked because I feel like conservatives would be playing this all over their platforms because I listen to a lot of conservative shows. I've not heard it until just now. I didn't see it anywhere on social media. So that's shocking to me. I think, yes, we need to support this message. I think people from her party and her friend group need to
join you
listen. It's not just about the violence against women at this point. They are double standard across the board. And I'm a woman, so of course, violence against women is a huge thing that I am passionate about. I think it's kind of wrong. I'm so I'm against it, obviously. I'm very passionate about fighting it and standing up for women and keeping us safe in all aspects of our life. Of course, during tough times, it's going to be more difficult, but this just goes back to everything else. I mean, the parents whose babies were murdered, the people who had their teens at a freaking concert who were just having a good time, who were flat out murdered. This goes back to just the morality of the situation, and it's all wrong. And I don't care who has a problem with it. I am 100% on Israel's side. I think Hamas needs to be destroyed. I think they're being too nice. Of course, I'm not in war. I've never fought in a war. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. So I'm not saying I have any reason to say that we need to do more or this or that. I'm not saying that, but I'm against Hamas completely. I think they're evil people. And I actually saw a protest this weekend for the first time in real life. And I was like, it's in front of a Starbucks. And I was like, what's going on out there? It was a pro-Hamas thing in front of Starbucks, which I thought was funny. So anyway, that was my 2 cents.
Yeah.
There needs to be more done.
Anybody does a search over my videos, I've done plenty going after Hillary Clinton. See, the thing about it, folks, is that if all you do is point out when somebody says something wrong, you're incapable of seeing what's right. This isn't the show for you. If you're upset because out of the 100 hours I've talked about Hillary Clinton, that it has been a Spanish Inquisition against her actions, but then one time I see her say something that is actually spot on, and she has said it best out of anybody. There's no Republican who said it better than that either. It doesn't matter if she doesn't believe it or not. I don't give a shit. anything that points out the atrocities that Hamas perpetrated against Israeli women, and nobody has the balls to say it, including very prominent Republicans, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. It needs to be recited by everybody. So my question isn't, or my statement isn't, oh, hoorah, Hillary. My question is, why aren't the people who we actually support saying the same thing? That's what I'm asking you to do. And if it takes Hillary Clinton to make a speech like that and no Republican is making a speech like that, then why the fuck are you supporting Republicans? Do you get my point? If Hillary is our freaking touchstone on this topic, there's a problem. So I don't care what you think. I don't like Hillary, never have. And that doesn't increase my stock in her at all. It makes me question the leaders that we do support and why they're not saying the same thing. Go ahead, Ames.
No, I totally agree with you. I absolutely agree with that. Why are our leaders not saying the same thing? I don't think many people who listen to our show or who are on this show or who call into our show are Hillary fans at all. I mean, we love to make fun of her. She's such an easy target. She's fun to make fun of. Like, we just love to hate on her. But again, she's a public figure. She does have a lot of pull. She is well respected amongst her party. And I think this message is important. And I believe everyone should be sharing this, no matter what side you're on, no matter where you are from, your background, what party you're like. Everyone needs to share that message. I think it's important.
Well, that was some weird shit.
Exactly.
Everybody's like, she's running for office. They're doing it for votes. Okay. Not everything's a fucking conspiracy. Okay, folks? Yeah. Not everything. This wasn't live. She was speaking to a conference. This was not leaked by her side. This was taken and distributed for the conference goers, and it was recut. This isn't Hillary Clinton putting it on her page. You guys, if everything's a fucking conspiracy theory and everything is designed as a distraction, then nothing is. I don't play these games. If I wanted to do this, I wouldn't do a show and I'd just stay on Facebook to elevate your thinking. Find out how this benefits the people of Israel and the women who were raped and the suffering that they have experienced. That's all you need to do. Ask yourself the question, why isn't every celebrity, every politician saying these exact words, no matter what side of the aisle they're on? And they're not. They're not. So please keep this in perspective. This isn't about lizards. It's not about masks. It's not about hangings in Guantanamo Bay. You people all need fucking mental help. Okay? You need to see somebody. I'm serious, goddammit. You need to see somebody. I've been tolerating you for 3 fucking years. You need mental help. I'm asking you to stop taking the red pill or the blue pill. Whatever pills you're taking, they're not working. Try something with an SSRI or an NSRI in front of it and get some conversation going to help yourself because you're fucking nuts. Okay? I don't trust the plan. There is no plan. There are no lizard cabal eating children. Hillary Clinton was not executed. People get old. People change. Okay? They look different when they get older. And no matter if they work 9 hours to 8 hours a day or 16 hours a day, whether it be Donald Trump or Joe Biden, we know which one's which, people get old and they look different. Okay? They're not lizards. They're not wearing masks. I mean, you actually think she's wearing a mask. You just get help. Get a doctor and go. I'll pay for your first treatment. I promise you. I will pay for your first session. Go find the best psychiatrist in the world and go see them. Because the problem with you is I know where you got this information. I know where you read it from. Everybody does. And 99% of the people who read it were like, this shit's fucking crazy. You are like, oh my God, this is good. You're like the people who think Michelle Obama has a dick. And you're like, she has dick. Okay. I know she does because her dress looks funny. I can show you 20 pictures of Melania where it looks like she has a dick too because dresses bend differently. I'm tired of this. The Michael picture, you don't think I've seen it with Brock? I want you to look at the original. And I want you to see how they put a mustache on her and trimmed her hair and added age lines. It's not real. It's fake. I can't fix stupid, and I can't fix you. So if you're one of those people, fuck the right off and get off my channel, okay? Please. Please.
Yeah.
Sorry, Amy's been trying to say something a while.
No, I'm totally in agreement with you. I think, yeah.
Somebody need to say it.
Yeah.
If I lose some people, I'm sorry, but I can't stand it anymore. She's not a fucking lizard. She's an evil woman who she is the G. Gordon Liddy. She absolutely is the J. Edgar Hoover of today. She has dirt on everybody, which makes her bulletproof. I've seen the suicides. I've seen the bank records. I've seen the things she's done. I get all of that. I'm the one who has broken down the server for you. I'm the one who went through the fucking 36,000 emails from Assange and read every single one of them for you. I know. I get it. But she's not a fucking lizard. And there is no secret cabal. Sex trafficking is real. And Republicans and Democrats and every walk of life, from preachers to meat market people to postmen, have taken part in pedophilia and sex trafficking rings, and it's real. But there is no endocrine. There is no blood of drinking of children. You fucking people need help. The Freemasons are not a secret society that fucking drinking the blood of children. Please get on some psychotropic medicine and start talking to a professional. You're a fucking idiot. Okay? You're an idiot. Stop. I've had enough. Nobody else will tell you this. You know what? They're going to take your clicks. Charlie Kirk, he'll take your clicks. Ben Shapiro will take your clicks. Joe Rogan will take your clicks. I don't want your clicks. Fuck off. Go to those little holes in the wall that are always wrong and are never right and follow those people, because I'm not your guy. I will tell you the truth. Like, the shit she's done isn't bad enough that you have to make up lizard people. And her drinking the blood of children. You fucking people need drugs. Serious drugs. Powerful drugs. Massive amounts of drugs. Holy shit. What do I call the WEF? The same thing I called them in 1950 when I wasn't in live. Same thing in 62. Same thing in 75. Same thing in 82, 84, 86, 91, 92, when they actually broke into mass produce. Charles Schwab came in. Yeah, the Davos Summit, all of it. They are a small group of people who want to rule the world and create a universe. They've been wanting this for 75 years. And you know what happens? 236 sovereign countries tell them to fuck off every single year. And you people think that they are going to have power just because they're completely nuts, just because they want populist beliefs, just because they want a world police and a one world government with a one world money. It doesn't mean they're going to get it. This is like the people who complain about Age of Aquarius with the hippies. They're going to take over the world. Remember when you guys thought that fucking Sharia law was coming to the United States and Muslims were going to come over here and put you in burqas? And you believe that shit too? Fuck the right off. 2008, 2014, you let batshit crazy people like Paul Ryan and Michelle Bachmann and Glenn Beck convince you that Sharia law was coming to the United States. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Just like the Nazis are taking over with the Democrats today. Give me a break. Our democracy is in jeopardy. No, it's not. Ladies, please get me off this topic. I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna have a freaking blowout of my vocal cords. Fucking lizard
I will.
People.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring it back to the whole, war crimes and whatnot. And I will say this: I did not fact check this. I heard it today on a news source. I'm not even sure where I heard it. I think it was on the morning radio show I listened to. But I heard that in our state here, Virginia, it was in the southern part, I think Williamsburg, they had canceled a lighting of
you can pass the physical.
Sorry. Go ahead.
They had canceled the lighting of a menorah ceremony that's coming up because Hanukkah starts.
They did.
I think it's this week.
That was actually the girl that was we took to the play. or to the Christmas Carol with Hayden, her synagogue received death threats and bombing threats as well. They're both tied together.
This is my problem with everything. Like, you have Hillary Clinton, who is standing up for the right side for, maybe the first time ever. I'm not sure. But why are we not listening to the people who are talking about the right side? Why are we canceling religious groups, organizations, and their celebrations publicly? Because it's not that we're afraid to offend people. I really don't believe that. I think that people are afraid of the retaliation of the people who are against Israelis. And I think it's a bigger topic than we even know. And I didn't realize how bad it was until this war happened. Honestly, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was just all like, whatever. There's no really Jew hate. I'm not Jewish, but I love the people.
Have you been on Twitter?
No.
Oh
I don't go social media. I'm going to start soon, but no.
It's bad, y'all. It's bad. Like, there are people who are going after certain celebrities who are like, I'm not going to advertise on Twitter. Like, Paris Hilton just pulled her advertising. She's like, there's so much anti-Semitism. I'm done. And people are insulting her. Republicans like, you fucking Jew lover. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It's bad. I mean, you know what? The only thing I can do is show you.
Test, background test,
I mean,
the like.
I could sit here. You know what? That's what the proof is in the pudding, right? It's not about just pretending. It's about showing you. And when you look at this, you will find, and you start scrolling segments where it will not stop. And it depends upon your feed. And you will see, by the way, Fetterman, got to give him props because he's been going after his own people. I'm afraid to show some of this stuff because, boom, right here. If you don't support beating up women and children, you're an anti-Semite and should be fired. One right here. This guy's entire program is all anti-Semitic garbage. He shows bombings. He's just constantly talks about the Jews, disrespects everything. I mean, says some of the most anti-Semitic shit I've ever heard.
In a serious way, right?
It's all over Twitter. Oh, God,
it's not like a joke.
Look at this. Here's one guy right here. Didn't they accuse Hamas of this? A dog is more protected by animal rights than a child and by Palestine. This is it. Once you go into the feed, it's just nonstop. Pro-Palestine, anti-Israel, everywhere on Twitter. Like, here's a video right here. I mean, this is here. Listen.
Shame on you, you genocide! Not supporting terrorism. You fucking Jew! Fuck you! Fuck you! You genocide supporter! You fucking Jew! Fired from your job.
It's everywhere. I mean, and it's open on Twitter. Everywhere. Is just, look at this. Netanyahu and Biden killers. You can't go more than a couple scrolls and see it. And these people they're linking shit that's not true. They're linking stuff that's false. These videos aren't real. I don't know what to say. It's just, I haven't seen so much anti-Semitism on a feed. It's everywhere. There's people like Marina Medvin who are fighting it. She's a Jewish attorney. But it's prominent. And honestly, the feed's a little slow today. But when it's a slow news night, they'll monopolize all over the feed. And it gets really bad. Yeah. So, I mean, people have a right to say whatever they want, but what you don't do is have a right to lie. I want to shift gears because my voice is almost done. This actually leaked, and this is the Grand Theft Auto trailer. Now, you guys may not know this, but Grand Theft Auto was released, I think, like 11 years ago. They're going to put a couple $2 billion into this by the time it's done. And they're saying that this game, during its release, they had to dumb down the graphics because they were so realistic. because the consoles couldn't process this amount of information. They're so ultra realistic, and this is going to bring different stuff in the sense that you can take a body now and throw it in the swamp and an alligator will dispose of it for you. We're talking really. Listen, I've played all the Grand Theft Auto games, and I'll play this one. I love video games. Video games are my thing. But this stuff is, you're now bridging the gaps of reality. When you see this, I probably already got hit with copyright. So I'll just start the music in the front one, and then I got to mute it. But take a watch, and this will blow you away.
Lucia, do you know why you're here? Bad luck, I guess.
Folks, this ain't no joke. The quality is unreal. This isn't FMV, full motion video. These are actual gameplay events inside the game, landscapes, real game scenarios. It's unbelievable.
Sure looks like the Miami I remember.
Yeah, isn't it close? And
I mean, really.
Yeah, and this was leaked, and Rockstar didn't want this obviously out there, but it is. This game is going to be the -- selling game of all time. Grand Theft Auto already is. I think there's something like 70 million copies of Grand Theft Auto out. By the time this will sell 250 million copies. This will be 250 million copies sold easily, and this game will probably make somewhere between probably 25 to 40 billion. And that's in microtransactions over a decade and the other things that they're going to add to it. I mean, the problem that I have is not how good the graphics are or any of those things. My problem is, as a video game player, an avid video game player like I am, how does this have an impact on the desensitization of children? I never let my youngest play, which is not Ethan or Hayden, but I have another child in my life, and they were not allowed to play Grand Theft Auto during its height because I felt it was inappropriate. I mean, you could kill hookers in that game. Not that hookers are different than any other person, but it's not right. You can deal drugs, rob banks, run people over, shoot people, become a homicidal maniac. In this game, you can choose to do that. You can become a serial killer, is my understanding, and have the police. There's a new artificial intelligence in this where the police are going to act like real players. The online event of the game, it's insane. I mean, you have people being cops and people being, the bank robbers, whatever, getting away. Well, now you can have this world of unrest, and the police officers don't act like computers anymore, which are easily fooled and beat. But the algorithms and the AI that these computers have now, it's human quality. What does that turn it into? What does that create? Does it create an animosity towards cops or towards authority because you lose in a video game and decide to have your entire bankroll rolled by the cops, and they take out your crew and you lose your character or something bad happens? Well, does that transmit into real life? I don't know. But I'll tell you that if we're worried about porn, which we are, and we're worried about music sometimes, then we should be worried about this. And if there's books that we don't want our kids to watch in movies, then we have to be worried about games. Olivia, I'd love to get your thoughts. And then Amy, if you wouldn't mind following up. And this probably will take us home. So Olivia, go.
It's definitely inappropriate for children. I mean, it needs to have a mature 18+ rating. But unfortunately, that's not going to stop some people. Some parents are going to let their kids play it and they don't care. But yeah, I do think it's going to have an effect. I mean, a lot of video games do. I mean, look at World of Warcraft. I mean, you had people freaking out because the server went down for a day. I think some kid committed suicide because he couldn't play or something. Something happened to his character and he killed himself over his character. I mean, it's a video game. But this one looks so real. I mean, before the show, I just glanced over at Matt's computer and it looked like a movie. And then I looked closer. I'm like, oh, that's Grand Theft Auto, but holy cow, it looks real. And you've got these kids out there who most of them are hopefully going to be smart and have good parents, but some aren't. And they're going to play this video game and they're going to be able to go kill a police officer or go do this or go steal a car. And they're not going to be able to make the differentiate between this video game and real life.
At times, I think that's a possibility.
And it's going to be the few, but it's the few that matters. And it definitely is. I think there definitely needs to be, just like I went and bought Dayquil at the store today for Matt because we're out, and I got carded for Dayquil. I mean, I think there needs to be some sort of age verification before you can get the game and before you can play it and download it. And I don't know. I know our children will not be watching this, playing it, doing anything with it. When they turn 18, they can do whatever they want. But while they're living in this house, they're not going to have anything to do with this game.
See, it's an interesting point. Is some people have already said, well, how many things did you unalive or kill in Diablo? That's a great point. And I want you to understand that when I played Diablo, there has never been a time that I have considered myself a necromancer who summons skeletons, gargantuan-style behemoths, and spectral mages to attack the unfallen or attack bandits or attack giant Hillary Clinton snakes, and been like, wow, this is a super big reality for me. That's fantasy. And the lines of reality and delineation into realism are few and far between with Diablo. Now, I'm a World of Warcraft player. I've played probably 30,000 hours of World of Warcraft and EverQuest combined. I was the first ranger or druid epic on WoW, on EQ to get the druid epic in the world. I was one of the first guilds to run Alpha Bravo Charlie in Molten Core. I had the first Arcanite Reaper on my server and forged the first one. I am a game player. I've also been a jock, but I love my video games. But I don't make that my reality. But what we're trying to say is there are people who will. I have weaponry in this house that could replicate the destruction in Diablo very easily. And guess what? I've never had the ability to do that, but I'm not other people. And there are people out there who are mentally disturbed who will lose themselves in a game like this and they will not return. Because trust me when I say VR is coming. And we've got a VR system and it is it's getting more and more realistic. And they're getting to the point now with haptic feedback that they're talking the third and fourth generation of VR will have suits that will have feelings and will have sensors and haptic feedback to touch you or give you a thump when a bullet hits you, or to play in your nether region when there's stimuli there. This shit is getting to a point where Ready Player One is a reality. We're probably a couple generations away from something like Ready Player One, where people can go have an apartment that's 200 by 200, have a little bed, and have instant food type of situation and live in a mansion in a virtual world and not come back into reality because the VR is their reality. That's if you think that that's not coming, if you think that's not the way Meta is going and PlayStation is going and some of these other companies, you're not paying attention. Amy, would love to get your thoughts on this.
I will say I've never played Grand Theft Auto before, ever in my life. So I'm not super familiar with the game or what the premise is or anything like that. I've never even really seen it except for this trailer, which does look very much like a movie based in Miami to me. With that said, I feel like I'm like terrified of AI. I've been not against the progression of, the world. I think there's a lot of important things that we need with, computers and certain aspects of AI. I'm really concerned about how far it's come already in the last 6-8 months. It's terrifying to me. I don't want to blame video games though for what people do and and choices that they make if they commit a crime because they played a game. I don't know. I don't subscribe to that necessarily, but I'll bring it back to where I always do. It starts with in your home. And not everyone's going to have a good home, but that's the reality of life since the beginning of time. You have parents who are there for their kids, who give everything they can, and their kids still turn out to be complete a-holes. You have parents who are the worst, and their kids still turn out to be pretty decent people or amazing people. It's not a perfect science, but I think the more time we spend with our children and keep them off of we have video games in our house. I'm pretty strict with it. We play like it's not Wii Sports, but it's the equivalent of Wii Sports on those Switches. And we have like Mario Kart, and we got the dancing game, which we've actually never played. And then I got them each a game for Christmas. One's like a Barbie game and one's like a Mario game. So, but they're not allowed to be like, I'm like anti-YouTube. I'm just don't let my kids watch it. I'm very against it. I'm pretty strict. I'm really strict because I'm fearful. That's why I'm afraid for my kids. So I'm to keep them sheltered as much as I can until they are adults. And I hope I've given them the tools at that point where they can go, maybe I need to like not be a part of this scene or this situation, or I'm going to go do something else. Whatever. If they want to play video games, they can. I hope they will have the resources and the tools and the mindset to go, it's a game, and not get lost in that.
Yeah. Listen, don't get me wrong. I ran video game stores for quite a while. I was a district manager and regional manager for Game Crazy and worked for GameStop and Babbage's, etc. EB Games as well. Olivia, remember those days for almost 10 years. I went to every E3 conference. I still play games. I had the top 10 gamer score in the world on Xbox. In the world. I was one of the first players in the world to hit 100,000 gamer score. I'm unbeaten in hockey. I'll take anybody on in NHL, whatever you want. We can go back to 2K. We can go to EA. I don't give a shit. I don't know anybody who can run a better two-man Diablo team than Olivia and I, because we're pretty freaking excellent at it. We don't make a bad Call of Duty team either. She's actually a decent little gamer. I'm excited for this game because I know that I can understand the difference between reality and fiction. And I always play the chaotic good guy in these games. I've never killed a hooker in Grand Theft Auto. I actually, if somebody's beating up a hooker, I'll take that guy and take him behind I act the way I am in life. And I like to think that I even though you have to do stupid shit in the game, you don't have to participate in all the missions and do all the things that you don't like. But it's a sense of fantasy. And I think there's something Westworld about that's exciting. But if you want to know the true character of a man, find out what they do when nobody's watching. And Westworld is a wonderful experiment in what would you do in that world? Would you rape women? Because you can. And you've always wanted to know what it's like. Is that you? Would you kill somebody? Because you want to know what it's like. Would you rob a bank? Would you shoot somebody just because you can? Would you be a law person? Would you be law abiding? Would you? But that's the thing, is that when people go into Westworld, they don't do the good things. They do the bad things, and you find out a true character of a person. Well, this is Grand Theft Auto in a nutshell. You find out the true character of people in this game and who they are. To me, I think it's an advancement in games that needs to take place, and I think it's amazing, and I'm a big fan of VR, and I'm a big fan of escaping into a virtual world. If I want to fly on a dragon, fuck, man, I would love to know what that feels like. I would love to know what it would be like to be a dwarf in the Macmordan Canal and fight a ring wraith or whatever it would be. To me, that's fucking badass. And we're going to that point, and I hope we get there. But I also hope they understand that it needs oversight and it needs regulation and it needs a parent. And the last point I will make is that, and this is just me being completely transparent, there are portions in video games where I will play and it's so realistic between the relationship. Like there's one in there between Yennefer and Geralt in Witcher 3 where they have a sex scene. There's hardly any nudity whatsoever, but I was like, holy shit, there's an arousal there. And that's where I draw the line. Because that arousal shouldn't be created by pixels and cartoon characters. There's something wrong with that. It's replacing something that's between a man and a woman or whatever, a man and a man or a woman and a woman or two women and one man, whatever tickles your pickle. Or a 1957 Chevy in you, whatever. I don't judge. That shouldn't be replaced by pixels and haptic feedback and digital surround sound. There's something wrong with that. And, so my opinion is I think we need to tread carefully. And I think there needs to be regulation over this. And I think parents need to monitor their children. And I don't think anybody under the age of 18 should play this game at all. And I would not condone it in any way, shape, or form. How about, what say you, Liv?
Absolutely not. I think you have to be 18 or older to play it. I really do. Somebody said, good job for us for, how we raise our kids and stuff. But what happens if they go to a friend's house and they play it there? Well, we know all of our friends' parents.
They call us, remember?
I get, anytime Ethan goes to a friend's house, if they're going to watch a movie or play a video game, I get a text. Can Ethan watch this movie? Can Ethan play this video game? Is Ethan allowed to play video games? Blah, 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 blah. Hayden just kind of does her own thing, but we've raised them right.
Tell them about it when she called and asked.
Yes, she did. She's been wanting to watch it for a long time, and it scared the bejesus out of me when I was 13 and traumatized me for life, and I'll never watch it ever again. Scared the crap out of me. And Hayden is such a horror movie freak. She loves them. And she's just been asking and asking. And I said, you're not watching it in this house. That movie will never be played in this house ever for as long as I live. You can wait till you're 18 out of the house. Well, she went to a friend's house and she called and said, we were going to watch it. Can I? And I was like, okay, but if you have nightmares, don't come crawling to me. Guess what? She watched both of them and she called me and she goes, I laughed through the whole thing. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but that shows you the desensitization of today's world.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where Stranger Things, when we were kids, oh my God, we would have had night terrors.
Exactly.
Stranger Things is not a scary show, but it's because we've been desensitized, but it makes it look like fucking Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, I bet if I watched it now, I'd be like, oh, okay. But
we watched The Beastmaster last night.
Oh, gosh.
And we were like, when did this movie become so stupid and cheesy with bad acting?
Exactly.
That was the greatest movie we'd ever seen. And we watched it again. We're like, oh, fuck, this did not stand the test of time. Yeah. This is like a wet fart.
Yeah. Well, our kids, we've also raised them well. And there's one thing, we don't allow them to drink soda. We don't drink soda in the house. No. They're not allowed to drink it. The only time that they've had it is when they've had the flu. Give them 7-Up.
Flat.
flat, warm 7-Up for the flu. And then I think they've had it at special events maybe a couple of times at like a friend's birthday. But they always call and ask. And I remember one time Hayden was at an event at like gymnastics or something, and she was like 5, and they had, it was parents' night out. That's what it was. And we always let her go with her gymnastics place. And there was soda there, and somebody asked if she wanted a soda, and she's like, no, I can't drink soda. I'm going to get in trouble if I drink soda.
I told people to say she was Mormon.
So, I mean, they know, and to this day, they still don't drink soda. Hayden will not drink soda even when she's with her friends, if she's being 100% honest. I don't know if she has or not.
I don't think Hayden has a reason to lie to us. If Hayden wanted to drink soda, she's at that age now at 13. She can come up to say, Mom and Dad, I've decided I'm going to drink soda. And I'm going to say, fine. Yeah. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get acne. You're going to get pimples. If you get one cavity, you're fucked. So if you start putting on weight because of the high fructose corn syrup, there will be consequences on because we're not going to have you get obese on this stuff, and it's not good for your health. But if you decide that you want to partake in coffee or some caffeine, I'm not going to stop you. But that's responsibility that she gets based upon her doing well in school, doing her homework, doing her chores. And listen, we can't hold Hayden back forever. Hayden is already an old soul. She's ready for next. My son is a little bit of a different story. Listen, I want to shift gears. I love the conversation, but I really only have like 5 minutes left of me before I kaputs, to be honest with you. There's a video of Dick Durbin did anyone else have anything on that real quick?
No, okay. I don't think so. I mean, I had a question for you, but I think I forget what it was. It was something with video games, because you were talking about, it was something with, oh shit, what was it? Sorry for my language.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
I know.
Stop.
Sorry. No, you were talking
now with the southern border.
Yeah. It was you were talking about like playing the video games, trying to like jog my memory, because I was like, I wanted to ask you if you thought it was relevant from when we were growing up, because like things change, right? Like, so I don't know, I forget exactly what you said and what my exact question was, but you know, when we were little, the games we were playing were so different. I mean, we had Q*bert and you know, what was the space
Pong.
game? I don't know. And King,
Galaga, Defender.
Yeah, we didn't have like, what was it?
Mario.
Well,
but I'm sure our parents had the same worry.
Right? Hold on, we got a call. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from?
Hey.
Hey.
It's Kevin Stumpy.
Oh, dude, shit. Can you hear Olivia?
Oh. Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. It was thoughtless.
I'm just joking with you. I had to give you some shit.
Can everyone hear Stumpy? Hold on, let's find out if we can hear him first of all. I know everyone on our call, but can the listeners hear Stump? Hold on.
Say, should I keep talking?
Yeah, you're okay. They'll know right away. Hold on. Come on, people, give me a sign. Give me a sign. Melanie laughed. Waiting to hear you. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Stump.
All right. So part of the current conversation you're having right now, and this really hits home for me, is that we have a lot of parents that had kids at too young of age. I got married when I was 18. I had a kid, and I was ill-equipped to raise kids, and I had to work a lot of hours because I was the sole provider, and there was no supervision. There was no adult supervision.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about these video games, it's like, holy crap, you know, when you're in that situation, when you don't have a lot of money, you spend a lot of time away from the kids working, and these kids end up getting these games and playing these games, whether you get them or not. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, do you think?
Oh crap! I lost you.
No, we got him. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Stump, can you hear us? Stump, can you hear us?
Did I? Yeah, now I can hear.
Oh, okay.
It went dead for about a minute.
Well, we heard everything you
said.
I
don't know if you heard. You did?
Yeah, we heard everything.
So it just the thought came to mind that when a family is less money, less income, less home supervision, because maybe both parents are working, the kids come home from school, buy them a game. It'll keep them home. It'll keep them busy, and buy the stupid game for them. And then parents are mindless to the effects that this game can have on the kids.
Yeah, well, I think it's a real concern. I mean, I listen, for people who talk about violence, the Bible is one of the most violent books ever written. There's some pretty graphic shit in the Bible. So there were times where I would hear sermons that I'd be like, whoa, that was it's a little heavy. And violence was in those games when we were younger, right? I mean, they had games like Commando and Russian Attack, and that were you're killing, but it wasn't as graphic, right? But if you read a book, I mean, if you read Lord of the Rings back in the day, or you read it, or what, I mean, your mind's eye would create a pretty bleak picture of reality. The thing is there's no consequence in video games. Somebody's creating the content for you. There's not that you haven't earned it. There was no rite of passage. With a book, you had to build relationships with the character. You got to explore with the author. You went through the nobility of right and wrong with the author's writings, and you weren't able to get an immediate payoff. In Grand Theft Auto, the first thing you fucking do is kill cops to break out of prison in Grand Theft Auto 5. There's no investment that's needed in order to do atrocities that have no weight. And the question is does that impact the psyche? And the answer is most assuredly it has to in some way, shape, or form. It at least desensitizes you because, let's face it, porn is visual stimuli. And people
Not just that.
But hold on, Unc.
Let me
finish my point. Let me finish my point. People start off with porn and they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to watch a man and woman and it's going to be missionary. And it's like, okay, well, let's throw in another person. Okay. Well, now let's go ahead and throw in some tools, or let's go ahead and do chips, dips, and whips. All right. Now, how about a goat? And you're like, what the fuck? I mean, you went from a girl and a guy. Now you're at a goat. You're like, well, let's go ahead and watch this. And the perversion escalates. And like a drug, it takes more and more things that are completely would be appalling to you to create stimuli for your brain. Well, who's to say that video games aren't the same way? And once you've eclipsed a point in a video game that you can't get that same feeling, what's the next step? Reality? And people need to ask themselves that question because it's a damn good one when you compare it to porn. Go ahead, Stump.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking if you were a kid, right? As a kid, when I was a young kid, if I were to play a game that was all boxing, right, and it was that real, I would walk out into the street at some point thinking I know how to box.
Yeah, like people think they know how to play.
And
guitar
now I'm gonna fuck around and find out.
Right. I think that's fair to say.
What it really feels like to get hit with a right cross.
Yeah, Amy, you have a thought? Go ahead.
I do because
You know what I mean?
Look, my kids, the way my work schedule is, I'm home with my kids most of the time when they are home. There are times when I do have to work when they are home, but it's very rare. So I don't know how I feel if I was needing a babysitter, so to speak. I don't know what I would do, or I feel like there would be something else I would do. I know there's a lot of parents who do rely on self-entertainment, whatever that is. As far as like the kids playing the games, like I could see that. My son is almost 10. He has like a little bit of a warped sense of reality. Like he thinks he's the best at everything. And he thinks, he's like, oh, I did so good at soccer on the Wii thing or whatever it's called.
Right.
And I'm like,
son.
He's like, I'm going to be so good at soccer. And I'm like, I don't like, that doesn't equate. Go outside, get the soccer goal out and get the ball and start practicing real life. But that's the difference. I think that's the difference between, someone who is based in reality and the kids who don't have someone who ground them and say, no, honey, you might be the best at this on your game, which is great, but also let's get outside. Let's do this. Let me sit down with you. Let me play with you. We played the games together. Like the kids are allowed to play for about 30 minutes by themselves. But then like we all foreplay. It's always a group event. We always play together if we take turns or if the game allows for 4 players, but we don't just let them go. Maybe when they're older we will, but not at this point. And also my kids don't drink soda either.
I
they are allowed
understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying 100%, but that's because your kids have good parents.
Right. That's what we're talking about.
And what I was trying to bring to the show is there are a lot of kids growing up that don't have good parents.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for
And
you to sacrifice your
there's
own
no-
your own
there's no
capabilities
fix.
was, I didn't agree with you saying you're a bad parent because you were 18. I know parents who are younger. Olivia has been born to be a parent her whole fucking life.
I am going to be completely honest. When I called in on the show with you and Mike, I watched the show again.
The one where
and
you
at one
ignored
point
Olivia?
You're a dead.
Yeah,
I was going to shake your hand. If I ever met you on the street, I was going to shake your hand.
Yeah. You bring your lunch. Bring your lunch on a ladder.
It's dark under this bus.
That's right.
It's very dark under this bus.
Yes, sir.
But one of the things to take away is at some point you said, well, then you failed as a parent. And when I was watching the show, after the show, I was like, shit, he's right.
Yeah.
I did fail as a parent. And in many ways, because I wasn't equipped to be a parent.
Stump, in that particular situation.
In many situations.
Yeah.
Because
We
I
all
was
fail.
too young.
Sure.
No, but I think in my case, I rushed into a mountain. I got my girlfriend pregnant. I was 18 years old. I dropped out of school and I went to work.
Yeah.
And it was just work, just going into work 60, 70, 80 hours a week from coming out of school was a hell of an adjustment. And like I talked about things about happened with my daughter. Where I lived, they had these outdoor concerts for free. You go on Thursday nights. I had my daughter. My daughter was 5 years old, and we were at this outdoor concert. She said, "Dad, I got to pee." Okay. I took her over pretty far away, 100 yards away. I told her, "Go behind the tree and pee." So I turned my back to her, and I kind of stood guard. And at one point, I looked back, and here's my 5-year-old daughter. Her pants are around her ankles. She's standing up, leaning back, peeing on a tree like Daddy.
Yep.
It's classic.
And I just said, "Holy shit!"
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No.
This is bad. This kid's been watching me pee, and she's mimicking me. And now I got to go check the toilet seat because I'm going to get blamed for that.
Right.
But
Right.
I realized that I said she needs to spend more time with her mother. I forgot why she was spending so much time with me was because her mother was neglecting her.
Yeah.
And it's just a really difficult situation that wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened if I got married when I was 30.
Yeah, but dude, if my grandmother had balls, she would be my grandfather. You would fuck up when you were 30 too, because your idiosyncrasies follow you. And just because you fixed one thing doesn't mean maybe you would have had a shorter temper. Maybe you would have had a job that treated you like shit, so you came home and you smacked your kid once in a while. You don't know, man. So you can't sit here and do this. It was the best of times, worst of times bullshit. Reflection is there to take the lesson you learn from it, not to continue to browbeat yourself. At some point, you've got to move on. Amy's like, Matt, shut the fuck up, because I want to tell him the same thing. So go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, no, I love that story so much. I want to share a story with you because my daughter is like my mini me. She's with me. She's like my freaking shadow. She's glued to me. She potty trained early, but my son did not, and it was really difficult to potty train him. So we had tons of land at our old house. And I was like, just pee out. He would like at a game, pee off the deck. We'd pee. Like, it was just like, just learn to pee outside of your clothes and the house. Like, he was a little tough one.
Mm-hmm.
So he would pee outside all the time. Like, he just peed everywhere. Well, my daughter, one day, I go outside to check on them because they're outside playing. And I'm like, where's your sister? And he's like, oh, she's, around the corner there. We had some bushes. She's not just peeing, she's taking a dump in the freaking like mulch.
That's good for the plants, though.
Oh my gosh.
It's wonderful for the plants.
That was hilarious.
So then that became a conversation of, well, it's okay for your brother to do it, but not you, and he doesn't poop outside. He only pees. But I'll never
shit,
forget
you guys
it.
are fucking horrible parents.
Oh my gosh.
You guys all
funny.
suck. No, I'm kidding.
So we all fail at parenting at some point. Like,
Listen,
it is what it is.
We all make mistakes. I remember the time that Hayden must have went through 7 diapers, and this was the first time. And my God, I was changing diapers, like literally changing tires at a fucking NASCAR event. And so I'm on the phone with Olivia, and I lay her down and I wipe her off again, all the way up her neck, basically, because that's the type of diaper. Right. So I'm like, I go through like 7,500 wipes. I mean, I'm literally opening up the box. Like, I got wipes all over me in my shoulder. I'm just throwing wipes at the problem, like gas on a fire. And I was exhausted. And so I go ahead and I get her all cleaned up, and I put the Desitin on her, because basically she looks like a cherry tomato, because, you know, she's went so many times. And I'm trying to be a dad. I'm like, fuck this. Can I just go back to work? And I'm on the phone with Olivia, and she's like, well, you know, you need to do this. I'm like, fine. So I get her all in her beautiful new outfit, because mom's going to be home in a half hour, and it's a beautiful little dress. And I'm like, I want to show mom that, you know, the whole changing station looks basically like, it looks like a Vietnamese brothel. I mean, it looks horrible, or it looks like an Exxon bathroom. Like, you know, nobody can find the trash can. It was horrible. So I get her all powdered up, and I pick her up, and I look at her, and she's smiling. And I'm like, oh, Hayden, I love you. And I'm squeezing her, and I put her up against me, and I'm like, all right, you and me, kid, we got. And then all of a sudden, she pisses all over me. I'm like, how the fuck did that just take place? And I'm like, oh my God. And I forgot the diaper, and I turned her around, and I lifted up, and then she took a giant shit all over my fucking face.
That's my favorite story ever.
And my chest.
Oh, no.
It's my favorite
I learned
daddy story
you never
ever.
look up the skirt when guns are hot. You know, you got to wait for that fucking thing to be clear. And if I would have treated her like a Glock, I would have lived. And I'm just like, I sit there and I'm just like, and I forgot to put the diaper on. And I just look at her and I'm just like, fuck, you know, I hope it gets better.
That is the best.
So my point
That's the best.
is that you're going to learn, you're going to make mistakes. This is
the hard way.
Right. This is the way I look at it, guys. The mistakes you make with your kids are different than the mistakes that your parents made. And the great thing is they're learning how not to parent as much as they are learning how to parent.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's all I had. Yeah. All I had was a bad example. Okay, this is what I don't want to do. I don't want this to happen. You know, yeah. I never wanted to be like my parents. But that's a whole nother.
Well, listen,
you know, just let me get this in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever seen the video on the internet where the fathers are changing the diapers and it got clothespins on their nose and they're gagging and all that stuff?
Yeah.
That's me. That was me.
I didn't change diapers after that day. Like I cleaned up the puke, but I don't think I ever changed Ethan's diaper once. Liv?
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
Maybe.
And he was not fully potty trained until he was 4.
What's
kid
it with boys?
Yeah, boys are hard.
Dude, took me a year.
He pissed the bed until 8.
Hayden was potty trained in 6 days at 2.5. Done.
That's because you didn't let me change his diaper.
And then Ethan started at 3, and he was not potty trained until he was 4. I mean, it took me 4 months to potty train him how to not pee in his pants, and took me another 8 not to poop in his diaper. And oh my gosh, he was a pain. Oh,
all right, guys, listen. I'm gonna cut it short. I have to. My voice is dying. There will not be a show tomorrow morning. Mike is out of town this week, and I just need a day of rest. I'll be honest with you. I pushed it. I didn't take any time off. I continued to work through it, and I need a recoup day. So we'll be back Wednesday. We'll have a recorded show in the morning. We will be back Wednesday night. Mike won't be here. It will be Olivia and I only. Leroy is getting pulled in 1,000 different directions. There's an open conflict in the Middle East in his AOR. I would anticipate seeing Leroy maybe once a month. So it's going to be Olivia and I, which is fine. This is where you calling in is helpful. Stump, Mel, the people who always call in, and the people who don't. Listen, there's one thing I found out, and it's interesting. Every time I post a video now, I go in and I read every comment. And I only get like 500-600 views on them now, or 500-600 comments, because Facebook is kind of throttling down during the holiday season, and they focus on a different algorithm. But there are people who I don't even know who the fuck you are who watch this show. there are so many people I've never even heard of, and they're like, you're an inspiration. You changed my life, and I'm like, will you please call in? Will you please talk to us? I mean, because it shocks the hell out of me to know there's I'm talking thousands of people who watch us that I have no idea you watch our shows. It's insane. Stump, go ahead.
Does Brad Pitt know who we are? No. That means.
Did you just compare me to Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Wow, you really want to have sex. Stumpy, go ahead. You're trying to say something. Go ahead. Go ahead, Stump.
I was just going to say, I always comment. I make it a point to comment on Facebook because I know it helps the show.
Yeah.
But on Facebook, I'm a different person. I'm Kevin Bernard.
Yeah, I know when you're on. I know.
I don't know if you're going to remember that. It doesn't matter, really.
Kev,
I just figured I'd let you know.
I've known you as Kevin Bernard before Uncle Stumpy. So
yeah.
Well,
I know.
One day we got to tell the story how I became Uncle Stumpy.
I think I know. I think you told it on Rumble.
I really don't want to talk about your penis, Kev.
No. Oh, my fingers are the only thing shorter.
Yeah, we'll talk about this.
I lost 3 fingers.
Okay, well that explains it. We'll talk about it next time you come on, and we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
But remember, guys, everyone's open to call. We'd love to have you. Stump, thanks for calling when Olivia's actually on this time. Now I don't have to hear it. Good man.
Guys, you have a good night.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, see you, buddy. I love that guy. Bye. I really do. He's very, very cool. He's a fun guy to talk to. He's got a great accent. Everybody. The best way to describe it is everybody knows a guy like Stumpy. Just the way he talks. Yeah. Everyone's got an uncle or a next door neighbor. It's hilarious. Yenny, are you enjoying your petting? Because she's like trying not to fall asleep on the show. Look at this cat.
She's so cute.
Amy, sign off for us. Say goodbye. Do whatever. You got a minute.
Yeah. Well, this is fun tonight, guys, and it was a little bit different, but it's always good to be here. And I'll just say what I said. I think last time I was on. The holidays are here. Please reach out to your loved ones. Take care of them. Check on the people that you love and care about, and that you maybe haven't talked to in a while. Check on your vets. Check on all your loved ones, and just keep everybody in your circle. Just be kind. That's all.
It's good enough for me. If you haven't had a chance, go check out the new show. We just did it on vegans. It's pretty funny. Amy, you should check it out if you haven't had a chance to watch it.
I'll have to watch it.
It's like 13 minutes. It's pretty good. Go check that out. And then take care of yourselves. That's it. Liv?
Go over to YouTube. I think we need 180. We're at 820.
I'm going to put the advertising on it on the 10th and put $5 a day on it just to get us there, because we got to get everyone to follow. If you have not followed us, please do. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Ames, thanks for being here tonight.
Y'all.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye, Ames. Night.
Bye.
Night, y'all.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.